When my wife and I moved to Lakeville and built a house in the mid-70s, I had the great pleasure of meeting a gentleman by the name of Wallace Wilkie. Wallace was a gentleman farmer, and in one of the most selfless acts I have ever seen, Wallace and his family decided that they would donate their land to what was then called the Conservation Trust. In the process of doing that, the land can never be developed. Mr. Wallace Wilkie had a concept in his mind that Lakeville should forever remain a semi-rural village-type town. Now we're confronted with a scenario where our character will be drastically changed with the advent of rezoning the Lakeville Hospital property for an industrial complex. I personally don't believe that that's what Mr. Wilkie had in mind for our town.
The town has always prided itself on making sure that we use a smart growth strategy when we build industrial parks and commercial developments. In this particular area where Sysco is being proposed was designated in the master plan as being an area for business and commercial development because the T-station is located there, and this would be a good opportunity for the town to have a mixed development in that area.
From a business perspective, Sysco coming to the community might be a good thing for my business, for the dance studio and for the daycare. It might infuse some children into the daycare, into the business. However, from a citizen standpoint, it's something that my family and I would not want coming into our community.
Sysco is a very good company. I own stock in Sysco. But as my email said in the newspaper the other day, this is not what a good company does. They don't come into a community and destroy the concept of what that community is all about. And all you have to do is look at other towns in our neighborhoods and you'll see that situation where the perception of the town has been dramatically changed.
Traffic lights, they're telling us, are going to work together. Working together sounds great, but now you have traffic backed up. So basically, you have all this small area of tractor trailers, school buses, cars, commuters. It's just going to be gridlock.
Right now, it's already very busy with the buses in this neighborhood, these neighborhoods, picking up children, getting them to school in a timely fashion. And now you're going to ask, bus drivers to stop, navigate around trucks, navigate around this traffic to get our children to school safely.
If this was a commercial, restaurant, or it was a supermarket, they have certain operating hours. They won't be going all night, and that's more of a consistent flow.
The difference between Nationals and Sysco is National was paying the effective tax rate as it is today, whereas Sysco is getting a discounted tax rate because of the TIF agreement that has been approved and signed by the town.
I don't think as a town we realize those expenses that are going to come along with this project. And financially, both from a school standpoint, a town expense standpoint, it doesn't meet all our needs. It really doesn't. And I think we're being led down a road that's probably not going to give us the best return on our investment.
I mean, when you look at the overall, over a 13-year period, the town is giving a 43% tax rate with an effective tax rate of $5.83 versus somebody like a Talbot's or an Ocean Spray or any normal resident is paying $10.22 a thousand. I think that that's a significant reduction in tax revenue to bring a company of Sysco size, into town, and the impact that it's going to have.
This is not a NIMBY situation of a couple of streets, not in my backyard. This should be a NIMBY situation for the entire town, because there's no question, with 400 trucks a day, a massive building, the perception of the town of Lakeville is going to change dramatically. And is that what we want?
There are 225 families or so within a quarter mile of this site, and we're all going to be detrimentally affected by this. And it's a reality. They're not in the middle of nowhere. They're not in the middle of an industrial park. They are planting themselves in the middle of a thickly settled residential area.
I didn't come here to live next to noise and have my neighborhood disrupted. Our quiet, serene life will never be the same once this enormous building is there and all the trucks that come and go with it.
We moved to Lakeville for a lot of reasons. It had a lot of the character and charm and area that we wanted to live in. And now with changing this from a mixed-use area to an industrial area, it doesn't make any sense for us as a family to live in. And we have to really reconsider, this is really a best choice for us. We're not really sure at this time.
I don't see how any sort of mediation in terms of a soundproof barrier wall is going to mitigate that for me. I feel that it's still gonna create a lot of noise that are gonna affect my children and us and the quality of our life.
The wall just grew 2.5 times in height, twice in width, and came closer to you by 2, and stayed open all night long. I think the person that lives far away can understand how dramatic a change that is.
We had to follow the rules set down by the town fathers for our projects, and I feel that many rules are being changed in order to facilitate this project coming in.
The negative impacts are going to be huge, and nobody has any idea what they are going to be until they're there. And it's too late at that point.
I still think the best use of that property is mixed development and not industrial, because once you put that industrial building up there, the size of that building on the location that you're talking about is huge, and it'll be there forever. Even in a retail environment, if you build retail stores, those retail stores can always change, from different retailers once they're built and so forth and so on. In this particular case, you got a one-off 650,000 square foot distribution center in an area that's never going to change.
We always knew that it would be developed, and that was never a problem. When the Target and the Chili's and the Stop and Shop was looking to move in, we were all for that.
Development's going to take place no matter how we like it or don't like it. We have to figure out what's best for us as a town, and talking it out as a town and figuring this out together.
The town has committed to growing in order to survive. In order to keep its services going, it knows that it has to grow in some ways. It's not something that you can just start and stop. Once they started on this path, it's a grow or die situation, and people should understand that.
People have asked me, well, it's our last chance. I said, well, where did you hear that? Well, that's what town government's telling us. It's our last chance. Why is it our last chance? The economy is still down. The economy is going to turn around. Why not put some businesses in there that actually can thrive off each other?
If I could make a wish and see something else on that site, I feel that perhaps senior housing coupled with light commercial, a small grocery store, perhaps a medical facility for those seniors, keeping in the green of the site. I don't think it should be raised. I think that we should keep with the master plan for the town of Lakeville.
One of the things I've been impressed with about Lakeville is the fact that when faced with difficult decisions, and sometimes it has to reach the crisis stage, we've always been able to come together as a community and make the tough decisions that turn out to be pretty good.
There are going to be people that aren't affected, that are hardly affected by this at all, that are going to change the lives of the people that live real close by.
This is a decision that we're going to have to live with for a lifetime and our kids' lifetime. They're not going to come in here and just move out in a few years.
Sometimes we just need to take our hands off of our pocket and place it on our heart and go with your heart.